We need to talk. Welcome to The Bold Encourager. I'm Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me today. We need to have a serious talk today. So I wanted to talk to you about everything that I haven't filled you in on. I wanted to talk about how everything's going and how the house is going. So I'm gonna give you a little tour of all the modifications we've done on the house so far. I moved out here 2 years ago, and I wanna talk to you about my experience of moving from a busy, crazy city to a super small, not so crazy busy town. So 2 years ago, I've moved from Orange County, California. So Southern California is a lot more busier. And I moved to a small town in northern Nevada. Huge difference. It has definitely paid off in me getting the house of my dreams, so I cannot complain. But I do want to talk to you about the process and how I got here. And I want to tell you how things have been going. Let me go ahead and show you a tour of my house first, and then we'll move on to how everything is going with me. Amazing, right? This has only been 2 years and we've accomplished so much in this little bit of time. COVID probably had something to do with it too, I'm sure. But besides all that, it has been great and we're happy where we're at and we love our house. It has been the dream home and it has been well worth it. So let me tell you a little bit about the process. We know nobody in Nevada before we moved here. I knew some coworkers. There was an office that we had in Northern Nevada we no longer have, but we had just seen each other here and there, but I didn't know like a close friend or family member out here when I first moved out here. So how did we end up here? Well, let me tell you. Me and my husband wanted our dream house. We could not afford the dream house in Southern California, unfortunately, right? The real estate's just more expensive. You don't get as much land. We had a better plan ahead of us, so it worked out. So I'm very happy with the results. So what happened was I looked on a map and me and my husband picked all the places we did not want to live. We said, we're not moving there. And we kind of centered between Nevada, Utah, Oregon, the places that have outdoorsy things going on. But we kind of settled on looking at more Nevada because it had the desert, which we love. We love to off-road and go ATV riding. And it had Lake Tahoe, which is a great place for off-roading and camping. So I felt like that was our winner right there. We needed to find a small town in this area near Lake Tahoe. And we were close to Reno, which was where the old office used to be, which we don't have an office there anymore. But I work at home, so it doesn't matter. But the thing was, we just had to find the smallest towns because the houses in Lake Tahoe are just as expensive as the houses out in Southern California. So we did our research and I looked for small towns that had great ratings and had great houses for the price range we were looking for. We saved up for 2 years for the hefty, deposit. Deposit's always expensive and it's our first home. So it's definitely something that's the hardest thing to save up for, but we did it. And 2 years before, we had to know how much we need to save up for. So we contacted a real estate agent 2 years before we moved out here. So there was a lot of planning involved. And he was willing to meet up with us whenever, and he stayed in touch with us for 2 years. So if you ever need a real estate agent in this area, I have the guy for you because he is very patient. I was like, let's go ahead and just fly out there. Let's look around and see if we can find anywhere that we really like. So, yes, we flew out here on a whim. We didn't think we would find our dream home the first time around. Never thought that would happen. But guess what? We did. And it was the second to the last house and it matched everything we looked for. It's 3/4 of an acre. It's also, because we didn't want anything less than half an acre. It also had a big garage, which is perfect for us because we like off-road stuff. It had the kitchen I wanted. It had everything we ever could want, and it was all in one house, and the price was immaculate. You can't make these things up. So we just were like, are you ready to do this? And we moved out here. It was a very hard experience moving across state because you actually have to have a job out here. So I had to hope and wish that my job would allow for me to move out here. And gratefully and thankfully they did. And they did have an office out here. So the most important thing is if you're moving out of state and it's your first time buyer, you do need to have that job out there. And if you have to move out there prior to buying the house and renting for a little while, it may be worth it to you. So we moved out here and I will tell you, the best decision ever. It was hard in the beginning because it was a lot of getting adjusted to the way life is here versus where we were at. It's a lot slower pace. It's a lot more work involved in owning a house, but it is worth it because you get more than what you put in. It's a lot of work to put in, but there's so much more reward at the end of it. So I highly recommend if you want to buy your dream home, that you do it, and save the money, give up some things that don't matter. It's gonna be something that you will not regret. And don't settle for just any home, because a lot of times people settle when it's their first home. Get the home you want. So I will tell you, I'm doing great. It's been adjustments. I miss my friends, I miss family, but you know, everybody kind of had a year last year where they were separated from everybody anyway, and it helps you grow sometimes when you miss those things, that you appreciate them more. And there's a lot of adjustment moving away from a town that you've grown up in, or there's a lot of adjustment getting away from what you know or where you lived and going somewhere you've never been before, where you know nobody. But you can make friends in your new place, and you could start new memories where you're at, and you can always go visit family and friends if you go further away from them. So I will tell you, I am doing great. It's been tough. There's been a lot of things that have ultimately changed me for the better. And now I know what it means to be a homeowner and what the hard work involved is, but it is well worth it. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. I truly appreciate your support. And also, if you haven't followed me on social media, please follow me on social media. The links will be down below. And every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will post a new video, and you do not want to miss it. So go ahead and hit that notification bell. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you stay encouraged.